Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Monday. How was your weekend? Was it good? Mine was. I enjoyed it greatly. And my dentist went good as well. Apart from the boat being late, dentist was good. Boat, yeah. Hmm. And I'm still recovering from it. I've got stitches in my mouth. It's recovering really well though. So no problems about that. So this morning I'm going to be doing some channeling for the collective, for people that are trying to get into a good relationship, those that think they've got a twin flame connection going on, and see what the guides have to say. I will also be giving mini reads as well. So check out that pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat of how to get a mini read. It tells you in there how to do it. It's by donation. There's a PayPal link in that pinned comment for your donations. You can also use super chat or super sticker and for your donations if that's easier for you here on YouTube. After you've done your donation, put a capital Q at the start of your comment with your question in for your reading. It can be a very specific question. It could be yes or no answer question. It can be vague, open, like higher self guidance or love life guidance, career guidance, or guidance about somebody in particular. Hey Jackie, hey Maria. How was everyone? How was your weekend? Was it good? So starting out with a mini read that someone put in, Renee, thank you for your donation in the middle of the night. That was a long time ago. So let's do Renee's first, because she's probably just going to watch, probably not on live. Are you on here live, Renee? Probably not, I would have thought, with putting your question in the night like that. Probably watching the replay. So let's do you first. Is George coming back? Is George coming back? Is George coming back? Hey, Michelle. Hey, Renee. Yes, Renee, yes. George is coming back. Good to see you on here. Renee, let's find out about George. George. Get what I want in healing. So, George went off to do some healing, huh? Did you tell him to? Did you say you need to sort that out? Seems that that's happening. He's taking it on board, whatever it was that you said. Grace and go within. This is for you right now. So just go with the flow right now. It might not be soon. I'm not particularly getting it's something you have to wait for. But with this grace and go within, it's saying like, sort out your insecurities and stuff like that at the moment. Go within, meditation, yoga, stuff like that will help you to stay in the flow. You don't need to kind of push this or manifest this, be too focused on this. He said he needed to. Oh, there you go. Well, that's exactly what he's doing. Good news for Renee. That's a good start, isn't it? Let's get some cards out for the collective. Thanks for your donation, Renee. Okay. Collective. What about relationships at the moment? The weather was appalling at the weekend. It was okay yesterday, but when I went to the other island, the boat was full. My friend was going to come with me, but she couldn't because the boat was full. There were no tickets. She tried to get one the day before. No tickets left available. Loads of people on the waiting list for it in case other people didn't show. So there's no point in going on the waiting list for it. So the boat was packed out, and the weather was atrocious. It was lashing it down with rain. It was windy. The boat was like, and it's like a big catamaran. Usually people sat on the top deck, out in the open. There's an open bit at the back as well. Then there's the VIP lounge where I go, two VIP lounges where you've got to pay a bit extra, but it's worth it. And then there's the main seating downstairs. But you see a full boat capacity. There isn't seats for everybody inside. Meant to sit outside, right? So in the terrible weather, and it's lurching around, everyone's just like crammed in. And so I stood up between the aisles, like a packed train or packed bus. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant at all. I'd got on early. I know how to handle these things now, these ferries and everything. I know when to stand up to be the first off the boat. I know when to line up to to get into the VIP area first and get my seat, either on the left-hand side if I'm going that way or the right-hand side when I'm coming this way. Front seat in the VIP area by the window is my favourite. That's where you'll find me. So I've got it down pat, right? So I was okay. I was sat down, but I felt for everyone else that was lurching around, and it wasn't good. The boat was late because of it, and I was late for my dental appointment. So we didn't manage to get it all done, but we got the important stuff done. Anyway, Six of Swords. What energies have we got at the moment? We've got the Six of Swords. Movement is happening. The universe helping you to anchor something in. The universe helping you over obstacles, around things, so that movement is happening is what this is saying, the Six of Swords. Being moved forward. Then the trip back was okay because it was kind of outside of rain squalls. It was still rainy and it was still windy and the wind was blowing like crazy before I got on the ferry on the way back, and then it died down when we got on, and it was raining in one place, but we just managed to, you know how the big gusts of wind come before the big rain? We managed to miss it, so it was pretty calm, and it wasn't as busy the boat on the way back. And my friend gave me a lift home too. Once I got to the road, she saw me. She was going to pick up her daughter at school, and she gave me a lift back. And as soon as I got back, it started pouring down with rain again. So I just made it. I was pretty lucky. And the place I stayed at was nice as well. New hotel, new to me. Six of Swords. The universe is moving us forward in some kind of way. There's movement happening. Ace of Pentacles. A seed is planted to something big. My nails are a mess. They've broken really badly. Right down. They're just so thin from the gel of doing it at a salon. But it's pretty much broken down to where I started doing it now, so I don't take much of the nail bed away. Ace of Pentacles, a big offer coming in. 10 of Cups. You're happily ever after. Will make your heart really happy, whatever this is. There's movement happening now. Anybody had any movement happening with you? I kind of did. I had a talk with him about what he wants with me and all of that. And we had a bit of a chat about it, about the distance between us and stuff, and whether it could work, and just kind of left it open. We're pretty much in the same position at the moment of like, it would be nice to carry on dating each other. So that's where we left it. I had one guy interested. Kind of asked now, but he didn't. He said that he was going out. He said that he was going out with his mates at this place, and if I wanted to come along. That's not asking me out. I didn't go. Yeah, no. People need to come at me better than that. But the Ace of Pentacles suggests a big offer, you see. Six of Swords, the Tower. It's going to be a surprise when it comes in. It's like people are thinking about it more. Did anyone watch that video or listen to that video that I posted in Psychic Cafe Club? If you're not in Psychic Cafe Club on Facebook yet, get yourself in there. There's a link to it. It was an interview. Who was it? Interviewing. Can't remember now. And I can't remember what the guy was called that was being interviewed, but it was the masculine side of things, about the changes that are going on with the masculine and feminine at the moment. I wasn't happy listening to it. I wasn't happy listening to it because he was saying that because of the way women have empowered themselves now and have stepped up and all of that, there's a lot of higher functioning women around. And he said, and there isn't the same with men. They've had no reason to step up. They've lost the role, kind of thing. The reasons that they had to step up before are the things that women are already doing now. And so it's kind of, they've lost the role and lost a need to step up. And the need should be, you would think, to be in a relationship with a woman, but apparently he said not. He said that men instead are settling back and using porn and the easy access that they have to easy sex, to not. There's no need for them to step up. And like video games and porn and stuff like that, relying on that just to, as a small, getting the needs met in a small kind of way enough. And testosterone levels are going down, and it's not a good situation at all. But he was saying, there's just so many people not in relationship now. The birth rate is dwindling. And he said, oh, hang on, it's disconnected and I don't know why. What the hell? Oh, I should be back. Ask a question in here, Ali. You put a capital Q at the start of your comment, but with no question in it. Just, thanks for your donation, Ali. But yeah, put your question in here. Do like you did, capital Q, but just put your question there. Morning, Sarah. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's interesting to hear the masculine side of it, but kind of scary. And he was saying it will kind of be the demise of the human race, but it won't be, because there are some cultures left that are still doing it the traditional way, that still are having babies, that are still, traditional marriages or doing it that way. He was saying about women kind of being the gateholder. Women are the ones that have to not get with men unless they're getting their needs met, kind of thing. Otherwise, it's just spiraling downwards. Anyway, it's interesting to listen to, but like I said, it's a little bit depressing. But we can only hold hope, right? Some of them will be stepping up. Some of them won't. Some of the disciplined ones, self-disciplined ones that have that fire and passion and the spirit, they're not going to be the ones that are turned into porn and stuff like that. They're not. So hold the hope. Hold the hope. Six of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and the Tower. It's going to come as a shock. Someone offering something big. The Six of Swords energy suggests that, like, the universe is trying to get us moving now. And if that is true, it doesn't much matter if we're past birthing age, but if that's true, we're going to have a new way of doing relationships, aren't we? Based on the traditional ways. People just aren't getting into relationships anymore because the women don't need it and they're not being offered enough. The men don't need to offer enough because they can get their relationship needs met. Men don't have as many relationship needs. It's more sexual needs as women. And nobody gets their needs met. But the men get their needs met enough. It's not good. Not a good situation. So perhaps we need to be learning how to do really healthy relationships. Not from a traditional place of the woman having nothing and surrendering that way. The guides keep on telling me, get in your feminine energy, surrender and all of that. And it's difficult when we've learned to be empowered and we've got to be masculine to have our own money and all of that, to be empowered so that we're safe. What we don't want is to give all of our power away, right? But we do want to get into a healthy relationship and be able to surrender to a masculine that wants to step up. It's tricky. But perhaps that's where evolution is going now. And that's what the guides have been saying. It's like the future of relationships is where twin flames are at. Temperance. It's not going to be a fast process, this. You're going to have to have patience with it. The Page of Swords, and learn from what has gone before, what we've learned before. And the Magician, manifest something new. Okay, so it's not just about us. It's about the whole of mankind. No pressure. No pressure. Okay. Ali. Does anyone else want a mini read? Let's do Ali's now. Ali, how's Jay feeling about you? How's Jay feeling about Ali right now? Thinking about a new beginning, considering it, pondering it, lots of thoughts about it, thinking around the subject, considering it. Oh, interesting. Romance and getting support. Not really sure how to go about this. Asking perhaps the wrong people what to do. Sometimes we ask our friends, right? And they cannot give the best advice about romance. It's like, yeah, Jay's got feelings for you, considering a new beginning with you, wondering how to approach it, and getting support, asking people about that, how to approach this. I do feel like asking some of the right people, but some of the wrong people as well. So you might end up with Jay on your doorstep, being a bit weird, um, after taking like conflicting advices, but being romantic, trying to be romantic with the intention of being romantic. Let's put it that way. Consideration. Men think about it more, right? Women tend to feel about it more and kind of dive in with the hearts. We want that emotional connection. Men think about it a lot, considering it. You're welcome, Ali. Okay, let's get back into this then. So we've got the Six of Swords, suggesting that people are kind of being moved. Perhaps the masculine is being moved to take action now. Ace of Pentacles. It's a big offer. It's a seed planted that could be long-term. Ten of Cups is long-term happiness, but it comes as a surprise. Perhaps something that you've been waiting for, but it feels like it's something that's going to come around slowly as well. And you're going to have to learn from what you've done before to manifest it. Someone's not coming in with all the answers here. It feels a bit complicated to me. Like someone coming forward with, well, this could be. And it's like, well, yeah, it could be. Could do it like that. But this is what I need from a relationship. Like there might be conversations about needs in relationships. I'm feeling. We have the Maiden of Air. I don't think I've seen her for a while. The Maiden of Air. She about? Shares a song with the creatures of the air. She encourages intuitive, spontaneous, and joyful communication. Intuitive, spontaneous, and joyful communication, being positive and joyful and spontaneous. And that's the feminine side of it. So when a masculine comes in with some kind of an offer out of the blue, it mightn't be exactly what you want. I think there's this idea that, like, from our side of it, like we've done the work, we know what it is that they want, and they just need to fall in line. But that's not true. It's not that men don't know what they want. The masculine doesn't know what they want. There's a reason that we want different things, and it's because we've got different roles biologically. So allowing yourself to be intuitive and communicate that way, spontaneous, but also that element of try and be positive about it too. The Four of Air. I was thinking that one's a bit negative, but it's not. It feels like a scary walk. But then I remember, it's omens. The answer is right in front of our eyes. It's an affirmation by the universe regarding a course of action or a situation. The Six of Swords suggests that the universe is kind of helping us now to get into these things. If you think about it this way, the universe is constantly expanding. to get back to basics. The universe is constantly expanding, and we're a part of that. The human race is constantly evolving. It's getting better and better. Our experience of life is getting better and better. Some people think it isn't, but it actually is. We've got to recognize that. We have it so easy. We have it so good now. All the facilities that we've got, the things that we can do, the things that we have access to, we've got it so good now. And that has been a rapid change. Not everything is better, but that's where we're headed now, is to sort those things out too and make it better. There's this constant evolution, and it's us that's doing it. It's the human race that's doing it. It's pretty spectacular. Not just that, it's animals as well. I know in my lifetime animals have evolved. Can you feel that? Have you noticed that the consciousness of animals has evolved in your lifetime too? I have. So there is an energy underpinning this, the whole universe, or think of it as the collection of all consciousness, all of our consciousness put together, and all of the guides and every being wants this evolution. And so it's not just us going, oh, I'd quite like a relationship. It's the whole evolution of humans need to sort out relationships now. And so that is why the universe is kind of pushing us to do this, and why it's a long process. Because it's not just about us getting into a relationship. If it was just about us, about me and you getting into a relationship, the universe would have had been in a relationship ages ago. But this is like, no, you've had to learn a lot first. Because we don't just want you to get into a relationship. We don't want that the human race to have to learn, like to dwindle down to nothing to learn this in a few generations' time. While we're on the upswing now before the crash, the population, it's us, the ones that have learned, they've got to sort this out, and as fast as we can, apparently, about relationships. So there's a lot riding on this. The universe is getting involved. Using omens does not take much effort on our part. We usually don't even need to pay particular attention. Omens are glaring and obviously unusual. Now, you and me, we are making a big deal of it. I mean, we are using effort. We're watching these readings. We're doing these readings. We're tapping into it, and we are making an effort to that, to consciously do it, right? But what this is saying is, because we're trying to make sense of it so that we can put it into words, so that we can conceptualize what it is we're doing here, getting into good relationships and how and what it is that we want, and what about the feminine and what about the masculine and all of that. So that's important. But what this is saying is that omens in your life, the universe helping you out kind of thing, it's like we're next for you for your particular part of this journey. That comes easy. Those signs are easy. They're glaring and they're obvious. It's like this person, they come in, right? Big offers and stuff like that. Now, we think, oh, I can manifest it whenever I want, because the law of attraction teacher said I can just focus on something, I can manifest whatever I want now. It's like, not really. There's a way bigger picture here. That's like saying, oh, well, I'll manifest a time machine then. It's like, no, time machine's going to come in the future, but not right now. Like you can't do that right now. You got to get with the program of the collective, right? The wise witch will always keep a watchful eye on her environment, and that's us. Even though these omens for our particular journey, it's like, okay, Claire, your turn next. Here's this one. It's obvious, right? Like when BB sent me a message asking me out on a date, it was a yes. It was a definite yes. There was no part in me that was saying no to that. It was obvious. But there's these guys, like the guy at the weekend that messaged me. I've seen him around. I've seen him grinning at me. I said, oh yeah, I've noticed you grinning at me when you ride past. He said, that's because I was reconsidering you. He said, I'm like, reconsidering me? He said, yeah, asking you out on a date. Oh, that's unusual because you haven't asked me out on a date. You said you were going out with your mates. I mean, that's like 13-year-old shit. I'm going out with my mates. You want to come along? That's not asking me out on a date. That's not a sign, is it? That's just confusion. That's a no. When it's a yes, the omens are there, the signs are there, you can feel it, it's easy. But a wise witch will always be noticing, right? Noticing. About omens. I've got to remember that card's about omens. So being intuitive with our communication, yes. So when it's a yes, you'll know. It's going to be easy. And then we've got Seven of Fire. This is Uranus, I think. Yes, it is. Crazy genius of the skies. He promises exciting times. We should be ready to expect the unexpected from life and from ourselves. And in this case, do not expect the surrounding cards to provide much detail about the particulars. That's the point of this experience, not knowing what's coming. Oh no. Oh no. It's going to be exciting there. The world, complete change. Wow, end of a cycle. What you have been learning completes. End of a cycle. The 10 of Earth. That's about cycles as well. It's about the days and the different cycles. Sun goes round. No, we go around the sun. You know what I mean. Cycles, a completion kind of thing. Same as the world. The small cycles, there's big cycles. Life is about to change. You're headed into a new cycle. The stuff that you have been learning, you've learned that for this next stage. This next stage that's coming up isn't going to be a rerun. It's not all the same stuff as you've just had. The elemental of water, emotions, an influx of emotions and feeling and all of that. Elemental of water. Lets you know that there's plenty of emotions involved in a situation. Anything could happen and any one of them can turn from positive to negative at a moment's notice. Oh no, you'll have to manage things carefully, but if you do, you'll generate a lot of useful energy. Lots of emotions involved. So if something goes from positive to negative very quickly, it's because of the emotions involved. We know that anyway, don't we? And the feminine is easier with emotions than the masculine. Generally. Then we have the 2 of fire, which is Mercury, all about communication, direct communication of those emotions. We need to be talking about those emotions. That Mercury card says to look to the cards around it for which way the communication needs to go. So the communication is about that emotional stuff. The 6 of Earth is on the other side of that. So the 6 of Earth, and I've got to relate this to communication as well. Trees and forest. It represents moving from one place to another. It's something that helps you transition from one state to another state. Okay, so the communication, I can do it myself, is to be about where we've been, the cycles that we've been through, and where we're headed now, what it is that we want to experience next. It provides a touchstone that you can always return to when needed. It's a safe place that protects and also prepares you for what's to come. Okay, so movement from one place to another. Communication about emotions. Communication about where we've been, what we've experienced, what we've been experiencing, what we're ready for next. That's what's important here. And then the 7 of Air, the I Ching. The question is in the answer's in the question. The conversations that you'll have with each other, this is the balance of the masculine and feminine as well. The conversations that you have with each other about emotions and stuff like that, Yeah, it could turn negative at a moment's notice, but that's just because of the emotions involved. But there's something about listening both to the feminine and to the masculine, and it's not the feminine that's right and the masculine wrong, and it's not the masculine that's right and the feminine wrong. But there's a way of getting both needs met, relationship needs met, and the answer's in the question. The answer's in the question, meaning when the masculine asks the feminine something, it needs answering by the feminine, but it's a window into what the masculine wants in relationship. And when the feminine asks something to the masculine, it needs answering, but it's more a window for the masculine into what the feminine wants from relationship. So, in other words, there's a show called Cheaters or something like that, where someone would be cheating and the TV crew would go around and like catch the person cheating and taking their partner with them to confront them and having that confrontation. And whenever it was the man going to find his female partner cheating, he would ask the question, did you F him? But whenever it was a woman that was being taken to find her male partner cheating, she would ask him the same question. Do you love her? It was never the other way around. What the feminine asks the masculine is what's important to her in relationship. And what the masculine asks the masculine asks the feminine is what is important to him in relationship. The answer is within the question. This communication is going to be very important. You're going to have to stay really switched on and really listen to what it is that they're saying, because it's not so much about you and that you should be like them. It's telling them what their needs are within a relationship. Oh, interesting. Renee, thanks for your donation. And you too, Laura. Hey, Laura. Renee, he moved away, so G will move back at some point. Will G move back at some point? I guess that's what you're asking. Will G move back at some point? Yes. Yes. Tell me. Following and knowing and respect. Yeah. Just needs to go and do what he needs to do. He is quite intuitive about that. There's respect in it there. And he's going to initiate getting in touch as well. He's going to be the one driving that. It's not going to be about you asking or anything like that. He needs to go and do this. The more that you go, let him do that, you've shown him respect and he's got this. Men need to be looked up to like that, you know. Be trusted and know that they've got this, you know. That we trust them, that they've got this. If you're respecting them like that, then yeah, it's going to come back and he will be the one initiating getting in touch. The women shouldn't be the chasers here. When we're chasing, it's like we're almost showing them that we're going to be the nag or something like that, that we don't trust them, that we don't let them be themselves and make their own decisions and do what they're going to do. So try and trust him more and let him be the first to get in touch about that. You don't need to push him into it. In fact, it's better if you respect him, give him the space, let him do that. He'll respond better to that, respond better to you in that way, Renee. Laura, high self-guidance for you. I don't like having stitches in my mouth. I mean, who would, right? But it's okay for the first few days. It's a little bit sore, but when they start healing, they start getting tighter. That's the bit I don't like. Laura, At least this time it's just right at the back so I can still eat and stuff. I have been mostly on a liquid diet, but that's all right now. I've got like, I make these superfood protein shakes and have them. Body likes them muchly. Laura, be with nature. Be still, keep quiet. I had like a vision of you going and hiding behind a tree. There is mutual respect. That's nice to hear, Anna. Be with nature and be still, keep quiet. Go and hide behind a tree, Laura. Honestly, that's the vision I saw. But it could be, quieten your mind. I ruined it yesterday. I was having it was fight night on Saturday night, but I'm on antibiotics and stuff, so I wasn't drinking or anything like that, and didn't want to stay out. I wanted to see the fights and just come straight home. And so I had earliest night on Saturday night, got up early yesterday, and went by the pool. There's a reason that I'm saying this, Laura. I went by the pool. There's like a basket swing just behind the curtains there. You can't see it, and it catches the early morning sun. It's about just past 8 o'clock, just about now, when that happens. And so when I'm having my lazy days off, I like to take my coffee and I like to sit in that swing and just sit there and let the early morning sun, as it just comes over the hill there, catch me, and just sit there swinging about in it and watching, nature and things like that. Well, yesterday I went to do that and I took my coffee with me, but I'd started listening to the new moon report from, what's her name? Ethereal Astrology? Wonder Girl Astrology, that one. I'd started listening to that before I went out, and I carried on listening to it. I took my phone out and I totally ruined the experience. After it was finished, it's like the video finished and I'd finished my coffee and I came back in and I didn't get the same relaxation or that same feeling that I got from doing that, because I was in my head. I was listening all the time. I wasn't out in nature doing that, being still, keeping quiet. I was in my head listening to something. I might as well just been sat in my room. I kind of annoyed myself with that. I'm like, why didn't I make the most of it? Why wasn't I present? It's usually a really nice experience. I shouldn't have taken my phone out with me. That's the message that you're getting too. Don't take your phone with you. Be present in that situation. Have you done that before? Like, you can go massage and then just like be in your head worried about something. You're like, damn, I ruined that massage. I didn't get the most out of it. Or going for a walk on the beach and then you realize that you're thinking about something the whole time and not really getting it. Try not to do that, Laura. There's something about your past here, Laura, that's bugging you. Opportunities perhaps that passed you by or that someone else took up, and you could have done that. You could have taken up that same opportunity that they did, and they did really well from it. There's a certain, it says jealousy that the cards come out, but it's not really that. It's more like, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like a parental thing. It feels like someone that you're at school with did really well, and when you were at school they used to do this certain thing, and then your parent says to you, look, if you'd have done that thing too, you would have been as successful as them. And you're like, I'm not them. We turn into a teenager again. I'm not them. If I'd have done that thing, I wouldn't have turned into them. Feels like there's something bugging you about choices you made in the past, not getting you to the same places that other people have got to. And your advice is just be present. Just be present. Be present as much as you can in your experience. Make a thing of it. Being out in nature and switching off your mind and being present and not thinking about those things in the past and not being on your phone or whatever it is that distracts you. That's the way out of it, apparently. Does that make sense to you? I hope so, Laura. It reminds me of the energy of something my parents saying. My parents always wanted me to get into music more because I'm a musician. I can play anything. But they made it really miserable for me. Well, pretty much like my parents made everything miserable, but they wanted me to compete with others and just put me off it completely. Music's meant to be enjoyable. It's all meant to be enjoyable. They made everything unenjoyable. Mm. It reminds me of that kind of an energy when a parent tries to live vicariously through a child. But you're the child. You're the child, Lara, not... And you're like, if I'd have just done what that person did, I would be there now. But it's not true, you see. Your path is different. All of our paths are different. If we follow someone else's path, just end up miserable. Anyway, that's you, Lara. That's what I've got for you. Good thing you understand. So let's get some down to earth. What have we got here? What is it saying? Maiden of a light communication, intuitive communication. You get the omens. It's going to be quite surprising. Yes. Out of the blue. But you're cycling up now. New chapter. New cycle. It's going to be emotional. There's communication coming in. There's something about listening to what someone else says because it's more about their needs in relationship. And then listening to what you say because that's about your needs in relationship. Not your parent, but you parenting yourself, which is the same thing really, isn't it? It's the same thing, Laura. Because our parents or someone else, the worst critic turns into our internal voice. Have you noticed that? Sometimes my internal voice takes on critical friends' accents. And I realize I need to get away from that person because they've become my inner critic. And once I distance myself from those critical people, I don't have much of an inner critic, really. It's what makes working on YouTube hard, because people are assholes online. Assholes. The things that get said to me, typed, not said, typed to me. Just people. Whew. And I guess it's easier on here just to be like, whatever, it's just them. They're just terrible people. It's harder when you know people, right? If they say something critical or terrible to you. But the more we distance ourselves from that, the better. Oops, wrong. What am I doing? Miserable ladies, 2 of Wands. There's a decision to make. What action shall I take? Queen of Swords. Having boundaries. You need to have boundaries. You need to say where your limits are, what you'll accept, what you won't accept. Remember, the feminine is the gatekeeper. We're the one that says whether someone gets in a relationship with us or not, gets in bed with us or not. We are the ones. Not them. We're the ones that open the door to them. So you may approach me, I've chosen you. Then they approach in the masculine way, and if they don't step up and approach right, then they don't get to be with us. You get to decide, is what that's saying. It's important. Queen of Chalices. The Queen of Chalices is the one that's open. What she'll receive, but we get to choose what we'll receive. You know, we won't just receive anything. So those of us, I know, because I had such trouble receiving, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it for so long. Like, why can't I receive? Why am I not getting good things from people? Why can't I receive? And it was the people It was just the people that I was choosing. That's all it was. Once I started choosing bad people in my life, then I could receive, no problem. I didn't have a problem in receiving. I had a problem of letting the wrong people in my life. And that problem that I had was because I am very good at unconditionally loving. It's my almost heightened spiritual, not awareness, heightened spiritual. I've worked that muscle, that spiritual muscle, a lot, and it works against me in my life in certain respects. So we can be the Queen of Chalices. We can be open. We can receive from people, but not everybody. We have to choose really wisely and open up. The Ten of Wands, put those burdens down. That's the surrender. It's a surrender card. The Ten of Wands, putting those burdens down, opening up and surrendering. We've got to choose so well before we open up and surrender to somebody. And it's not just about the choosing. It's not just about the person. It's about the behavior. That's why we've got to have these boundaries, right? Because it's not just like there's a right person and they're going to approach you right and you can just surrender to this person. It's not going to be like that. It's behavior in the moment. Could be the right person. Could be the right person. And if you don't have the boundaries and stuff like that, they could turn into the wrong person because they'll get away with anything, right? Not saying that they're a bad person. Masculine and feminine want different things in relationships. They just do. Masculine and feminine want different things in relationships. It's got to be a negotiation. You're going to always have to have boundaries, and you're always going to have to be the one making the choices and having those boundaries and being clear about it. And then open within that safe space. That's what this is saying too. The Six of Earth is about that safe space. The movement happening from a safe space. It's like, I will let you proceed, but only within my boundaries kind of thing. That's when I will surrender. Can't just surrender to anyone. Like some of the masculines, they want us to do that. It's like, can you just be feminine and surrender straight away? It's like, not until you've earned it, mate. Not until you've earned it. Yes, I can be that. Only once you've earned it. Only once you're within my boundaries. If you're outside of my boundaries, of course I'm not going to surrender to you. What else? Wow. Ten of Cups. Second time I've had the Ten of Cups. Everyone gets what they want. Heart's fulfillment. It's not that masculine is cut off from the heart. They just got different needs in relationships. I don't fully understand it. Of course, I don't fully understand men yet. Because they don't talk to us about it. Well, some of them are now, and it's making a lot more sense. I'm listening to more of the masculine now on YouTube. Like, whatever that guy's name is, I don't know. I'm listening to them now because I'm interested at where the masculines are with these front runners. They are speaking out now, and they're able to put it into words and communicate it, which is great. I will share in Psychic Cafe there and in our Facebook group, so join it. I was sharing there the good ones that I find, the ones with the big ones that I get bigger hearts. Because I do listen to a lot of podcasts, but on YouTube. Following a few people I respect, some that I don't respect so much. Oh, I was watching an interview, and I can't remember what the guy's name is, but it was with Tom Bilyeu. Tom Bilyeu. Have you watched him? He's an interviewer. His wife's great. His wife does some empowered women stuff. She's great. His interviewing style, he just interrupts them. He'll ask someone a question and then just interrupt them. Like a few words into it, interrupts and talks about himself. It's so annoying. So it's very hard to listen to him, for me to listen to him in an interview, because I'm just like, would you let the person answer? I'm interested in what they've got to say. Anyway, I was listening to him because I was interested in this weird guy that was interviewing. And this guy, he's a multimillionaire entrepreneur. but was depressed. And he decided to become like the healthiest person that he could possibly be and reverse age and all of that kind of thing by getting like a team of doctors together and doing it organ by organ in the body, doing all the testing on it to have like the perfect regimen and diet and all of these things. Is weird as, but it was fascinating in its weirdness. And a lot of the stuff that he does is actually stuff that I do. I'm big on the self-care and the health. A lot of the supplements and stuff that I take is stuff that he's doing. He's taking it to the, like, he has like 100 supplements a day. I don't do that, but I'm taking quite a lot. The dietary stuff is pretty simple, even though he's kind of doing it in a vegan way, not really a vegan way because he's having salt, collagen peptides and stuff, but it's pretty similar what we're doing. He goes on in the LED every day, and he does a hell of a lot more than me. The exercise stuff, and it's pretty similar. But he's getting like laser done on his whole body, not just his face, like the rejuvenation and everything. It's fascinating. And I'm not getting all the testing and all that kind of stuff that he's doing, but he's doing it precisely. It's fascinating and weird as can be. I went on his website too and started watching more of his videos to find out more. But I'm paying attention to the masculine, and there's a few of them out there, but they'll interview interesting people, and there are more and more of the guys. I think guys that are talking about relationships and stuff like that were telling women what to do. There was that phase, right? Telling women what to do. And then some of them have started talking about the man stuff, and now it's like, oh, thank God, now you're like focused on yourselves, and that's what was missing. No one was been doing that. Focus on the guy stuff. And so there's more of that about now, so it's interesting. Hello. Hi, Sonia. Sonia, check out the pinned comment. The comment that's pinned up top of the live chat tells you how to get a mini read. It's by donation. There's a PayPal link in that pinned comment for your donation. You can also use Super Chat or Super Sticker here on YouTube for your donation if that's easier for you. Put a capital Q at the start of your comment with your question and for your reading after you've done your donation. So the 10 of chalices. So everyone's heart's happy. The 9 of chalices, and everyone gets their needs met. Not just their needs met, their wishes. The wishes come true. The 4 of chalices, the offer that she's dreaming of, that's not good enough, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. The offers that I'm being given aren't good enough. Ta-da! This offer is the one that I'm dreaming of, this big shiny offer. It's like knowing really what you want. And I think that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about two people that know what they want, but what they want is slightly different because the masculine wants different than the feminine. And this needs to be talked about, but also the woman has to be the gatekeeper. The one making the decisions in this, the one with the boundaries and making sure that they fall in line within those boundaries. So if you've not got that bright, shiny offer yet, and it's not perfection, it's not someone that wants exactly the same thing as you too, because that's not possible. That's not possible with the polarities here. But it's one where it will be wish fulfillment for both. Both will be able to meet each other's needs and will be happy as a result. So we've gone from like wanting to meet the one, like that one, the right one, the one where it'll just work out, the one where there'll be no problems, and that isn't true, to choosing better, noticing the red flags and all of that, to then going, right, okay, I know exactly what it is that I want. I'll know when to I know how to recognize it, and it depends on them coming forward too and taking that action. That's very important too. And so each time I recognize it, so it could be a few of them, you know what I mean? Could be a few of them. If someone comes forward and they're like, okay, this one could be it, this could be the offer, but are they choosing it too? Are they making the effort in that? They know where I stand, I know where they stand, I know what they want, they know what I want. Is this going to be a movement forward from them? There's going to be an actual offer from them. It seems that way with this Ace of Pentacles, but does that make sense? It's not about like waiting for that perfect match. It's about the matches coming in and going, okay, here's my boundaries. This is what I want. What do you want? Do we want to move this forward? Are you moving this forward? The Wheel of Fortune. This is such a beautiful Wheel of Fortune card, isn't it? It's the colour, it's the green and the blue. It's just gorgeous. Let me read this from this deck, the Wheel of Fortune. Don't know why, but I want to. Number 10. The wheel knows that she is continually in motion. The external expression of her experience is always changing. At the centre, in the depths of her heart, she finds enough stability not to be upset or alarmed by the natural changes in life. I'm alarmed by the natural changes in life right now. I am. This is something that I've been thinking about, and it's at the forefront of my mind because, I'm into the health stuff and all of that. I was watching a video and it's about heart disease and about the figures with heart disease. We know heart disease is the biggest killer, right? I can't remember the numbers now, but there was a chart where if women are going to have, well, first of all, it was a TED talk. What a doctor's asking students, someone's first heart attack, what are the symptoms that they're presenting with? And they say, oh, pain down their arm and all of this. And it's like, no, you're wrong. And someone says death. It's like, yes, death. That's what they're presenting with. The majority of people die with the first heart attack. And then he went into the numbers. For women, the majority of the women that are going to die of a heart attack, the majority of them will die between 75, 85. The majority of men that will die of a heart attack die between the ages of 45 and 55. And then a lot of them will die between 55 and 65. And then it kind of tapers off. Women are the other way. We die a bit older. And this is what I'm seeing. Since I've turned 50, my friends are dying. It's not my female friends that are dying, it's my male friends that are dying, and they're dying of heart attacks. The majority are dying of heart attacks. They're popping off. Around 50. 48 was the one that went a couple of weeks ago here. 53, 54 was the one, my friend that went last year here. And then I think of them and it's like, well, yeah, here, a lot of the guys and the people here, they live like teenagers still, going out and drinking a lot and all of that kind of stuff. That kind of a lifestyle. So it kind of makes sense. But then I look at them and I can see now, like when people are unhealthy, you can see it. You can see the belly fat, not the subcutaneous, but you can see. So we've got different types of fat. The stuff that's just underneath the skin, right? And that can be on the belly here. I've got some of it here. Then there's the stuff that's really bad for us, the spillover, that is around our organs. That's the really bad stuff. And somebody's body looks different when they're like that. They don't look as squishy on the outside, but they've got a big belly area, right? And they can kind of present as being more healthy there, but they're the ones. And so I look around here at the guys that are kind of on the dating scene around here, and they're all of these ones, a lot of them, and it's like, it's not even point in getting in a relationship with you, you're about to die. I haven't had 10 years in you, I can see it. And it's very sobering, isn't it, Rana? And it's not the women, is it? It's not the women. And it's kind of frightening me. It's weird that card is said. It is kind of frightening me. It's like, holy shit, there's not going to be any of them left. Six of Swords, this movement. Six of Swords. So yeah, I was taken aback by watching that TED talk and those figures, and it's like, wow. Yes, I am seeing that. I'm factoring it in. I don't care. There's probably some women that would be like, well, yeah, let's get one of them and they'll die soon. All the better, I'll get all the money and all of that. But I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in investing in a guy for like that's going to die soon and get the money. No. Six of Swords. I want to read it out from this one. Six of Swords. So what have we got to do? We've got to go younger. Got to go younger. Or what? Only go for the really healthy ones, the ones that are really looking after themselves. Six of Swords. It can be hard to extricate yourself from a dark or dangerous situation alone. Fortunately, help can usually be found. Seeking the truth for your highest good will reveal guidance for the way out. Hold tight to that truth and follow it until you know where you need to be. Guidance and help to leave a negative situation. But it's not always a negative situation. It's guidance forward to where you want to go. And that's where we started too, Six of Swords. I do want to read the Six of Swords out from this deck now. I don't know why, but we'll find out why once I start reading it. There's going to be something in there for us. Six of Swords. Six of Swords. A woman covered in a dark cloud is traveling over the sea. She looks troubled and seems to be in grief. 6 clouds floating beside her carry all the woman's troubles and pain. The woman reaches out to a rope attached to a star at the top and an anchor at the bottom. She's hoping the rope will lead her to a new place where she can recover from her sorrows. It's a transition from the blues, a change of scenery, moving on in hope. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting with what I was just talking about there and what this card, what the Wheel of Fortune card said there, of that despair where we're at here. When we finally get into our minds and we start choosing and all of that, and it's like, how? There's this realization that there's not a lot to choose from at all. But that's like keeping the hope alive. The universe is wanting the very best for us. Otherwise, it would make no sense as being on this path, would it? It would make no sense to me, my life, how it's worked out, and I've got all the lessons that I need, and I'm focused, and the guides have me focused on what I'm focused on in my work at the moment. It would make no sense if it's like, and you can't have it, and then you can't have it. It's not available. That would make no sense, right? We're doing it for a reason. We've got to keep that hope alive. I don't have the star card out, but it's kind of a starry card feeling. I want to find out about this Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Tell us more about the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, please. I'm about to finish, so if anyone else wants a mini read, get your donations in now. Tell us about the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. The heart. It's going to make your heart happy. Of course, the Ten of Cups, it makes your heart happy. You get what it is that you want in a relationship, and not like it's just dished up on you. It's not someone that just knows and you know what they want. No, there's going to be discussions about and all of that, but you will get your wishes fulfilled. 10 and 9 of chalices there is really nice. It's what your heart wants. Unconditional love. It's just getting better and better, isn't it? It's unconditional love. Someone that will love you. And commit to you. Commitment, the ring. Shaman. Healing relationship. A healer? Someone that's healed themselves. So yeah, it's someone that's done work on themselves, not necessarily in exactly the same way as you have, but someone that has been doing the work, leveling up, all of that kind of thing. The river, the emotional stuff. Someone that's been dealing with the emotional stuff. Anima Mundi is the manifestation of it. Someone that's trying to manifest it too. They're dealing with their emotional stuff and they are focused on, it's someone that wants the same thing. It's someone that is dealing with their emotional stuff and looking for a relationship of this type too, to get their needs met. Someone that realizes what their needs are and they're looking for that. Someone that's conscious of it. Yes. That's great. The heart, agape, is unconditional love. That's the highest spiritual love you've got. And commitment. They'll want to commit. They'll want to lock that in. The hope is there. It just feels like we're on this long path to it because there's a hell of a lot of work to do first before we get there. Not just our healing and being ready for it and learning how we're choosing and all of that. There's more to it than that. I think there's more to it when we come together as well, especially with all this communication that was talked about here. I think we're going to have to level up in that, in the reality, taking a reality check. Why isn't it there? Oh, it's in the middle of the deck. I don't know why. I just pictured two cards. Here they are. No. I don't know where they are now. It was like take a reality check and focus on priorities or something like that. Cards are popping up in my mind's eye now. There you go. That's what I've got. Hopefully that gives you hope. There's movement happening anyway with these Six of Swords. We're being moved into position now with the ones that we could have a relationship with like this, the ones that are kind of in alignment, coming into alignment. We're coming into alignment. So thanks everyone for coming along. I will be making a pig card read today, so check that out on my YouTube channel later. Not sure what it's going to be today. I don't know what we're up to. What are we up to? Let's see. The pick a card read I'm making today is my website's been super slow. Love Tarot. It's the Love Tarot. It's full Celtic crossbred. So check that out later on my YouTube channel. Thanks everyone for coming along. Don't forget to click like on this video before you click off as well. That helps me out. And yeah, have a good one, everybody. Let's do this all over again in 2 days' time. I am here on Friday as well this week, but I won't be next week. I'm going to go back and get my stitches out in 2 weeks' time. So Wednesday. Thanks, Lara. You have a good one too. And I will see you all in 2 days' time. Don't forget, join our Psychic Cafe Club on Facebook as well.